Hi guys, welcome to JD's Kitchen and thank you guys for stopping by. Today I will be sharing with you guys how I made this delicious pot of porridge yam. You can call it porridge yam or turning yam. It tasted so delicious. I'm going to start by sharing with you guys all the ingredients. To cook porridge yam, of course, you need yam. So this is my yam. I'm going to be using dry fish and fresh meat. And then you're going to need some vegetable. It could be bitter leaf or any other of your choice. I'm going to use some blended onions, blended garlic and ginger, of course red oil, with most porridge food I use red oil, blended crayfish, blended green spices, blended boiled tomatoes, white pepper, bush pepper, salt and seasoning cubes. I'm using the Maggi crevette. I use it for most of my turning foods or porridge foods. That's some pepper. I'm going to use very small pepper because my family members do not eat pepper like that. So in my pot I'm just going to put my meat, and then I put some blended onions, some salt, and then I'll add some seasoning cubes just to season the meat. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water and put my meat on the fire. I'm going to allow it to steam for a bit. Now the broth from the meat is going to be my base for my turning yam. I go ahead to peel my yam. You guys are also happy, sometimes you open up your yam and you realize that a lot of the yam is bad, but this particular yam, ever since I had a whole bag of it, ever since I started cooking it, I have not realized that anyone has really gotten bad, like a lot, just like little patches here and there. But the yam overall is really good and dry, and I love my yam dry. But one thing I've noticed with turning yam is that, or with yam, is that when you boil it, in the process of boiling, you might feel like, oh, this yam is so soft. I mean, this particular kind of yam, because I think there are different kinds. You would feel like it's so soft, and that was what I experienced with this particular pot of turning yam. It looked a bit soft when I was done, but like an hour later, when it was getting cold, the yam started hardening up again. Is that a word? It got harder, and I loved it. Like, I love my yam. I love to bite it and chew, but not like it's not cooked. It is cooked, but I just love to bite in and chew. So yeah, I was done with my yam. While peeling your yam, make sure you have a bowl of water where you can soak the yam in it. So that's what you saw. My yam was in water. My meat was on the fire, almost getting dry. I actually needed this broth, so I'm happy I came in time. I opened up the pot, and then I just poured in all the yam, not with the water that I had soaked the yam in. I had thrown the water, rinsed the yam again. Now I carried fresh water from the tap and I pour it into the pot. Now you want to pour your water to just be at the level where the yam is, or slightly above the level where the yam is. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding all the ingredients you saw. When I cook most of my turning foods, with plantain I do it a bit different, but with yam I put everything. So my meat is already inside. I've added fish. I've now added the blend of garlic and ginger. I'm going to go ahead to add in all the other spices like you guys are going to see. That's my blended onion going in. I'm going to add everything, the blended green spices, white pepper. You will see me add everything. So after I added everything into the pot, I allowed my pot to boil for like 20 minutes, and then I came back and checked. I was just going to pick up a piece of yam and then cut through with a fork to see if it's cooked through or if it's still hard. It depends on the kind of yam that you're using. I think it just depends on the kind of yam you're using. So I realized that mine was not yet as soft as I would have wanted it to be. If I had taken off my pot at this point, when it's cold, it will even be harder, like I explained in the beginning. So I put it back in, and then I left my pot on the fire for another 10 minutes, and by the time I came back to check, my pot was ready. At that point I also tasted to be sure that my seasoning cubes, everything was all right, and voila, we have our turning yam or porridge yam, whichever way you like to call it. It was so delicious, and I look forward to making it again. It was so yummy. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please try out this recipe and leave your thoughts on it in the comment section, and I'll see you guys on my next video.